Hi, my name is Savannah Rios, and my TED topic is going to be on bullying. So, once upon a time, I enjoyed my school experience. I had good friends, great grades, nice teachers. I felt like I went to a regular school with regular people, and the things we heard and learned about bullying would never happen to me. But my advice to you is to always expect the unexpected. I remember one day in the second grade, my friends and I were waiting to go into my teacher's class when all of a sudden I felt a pain in my chest. And as the pain of rejection and humiliation overcame me, I froze. You know what, Savannah? You're not very pretty and you're not very popular. Why are we even friends? Eleanor Roosevelt once said that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Now, this is kind of a hard concept to grasp when you're only 7 years old. About 21% of students in the U.S. are being bullied today and report it. 48% of students have to report bullying for their peers, and 30% of students don't report anything. My peers continued to lower my self-esteem by saying that I was things like annoying, stupid, ugly, fat, loud, and etc. I didn't understand why they were doing this to me, but I didn't say anything to them because I still believed that they were my friends. 16% of students today are being bullied based on their race. 35% are bullied based on their body shape and 47% based on their looks. Do you guys remember those school assemblies we used to have where an inspirational speaker would go up and they would talk about something important? They'd tell you to ignore what other people said about you, and they'd say something like embracing your sui generis. Sui generis is the Latin term for the word unique. It translates literally to of its own kind. But how can you be this sui generis version of yourself when your only friends are bashing at your very fragile confidence? After these tribulations with my peers, I became very introverted. I was afraid to talk to anyone because I was afraid that no one would like me for who I was. I knew that the only people who would accept me for who I was going to be my family. As a result of bullying, 30% of students are going to self-harm. They're going to participate in self-harm. 30% are going to have suicidal thoughts. 20% are going to skip classes. 10% are going to have failed suicide attempts. And 10% are going to abuse drugs and alcohol. Now, luckily for me, after the third grade, I was homeschooled. And in the time that I spent with my friends and my family, I was able to overcome the pain and the self-doubt that I had felt. I realized that through my experience, I was able to boost my confidence, but unfortunately, people who have been put in similar situations that I haven't really handled them the same way. According to a study done at the University of Warwick, this study was based around 5,000 participants, and there it was found that 4 out of 5 students who are going to attempt suicide will give very obvious warnings. This is preventable. It's very, very important. 10 So sticks and stones will break your bones, but sticks and stones will break your bones and words cannot hurt you. And we've all heard this before, but words really can hurt you. This is really important. This is the 24-hour suicide hotline. If you believe that anyone is aiming to harm themselves, please make note of this phone number. It may seem as if, as students in high school, we've outgrown this concept of bullying and just teasing. But just remember, there's always going to be someone, somewhere, who's going to challenge your beliefs, your aspirations, and your confidence. I still experience personal discrimination. Last semester, after the presidential elections, it was kind of crazy. My teacher learned that I am a conservative Republican, In learning this, she began making negative comments and assumptions about Republicans in general. Knowing that I was the only Republican in her class, she continued to passionately argue about how we're racist and misogynistic and anti-feminist and hateful. And I highly, highly respect this teacher, and I respected her beliefs, but I chose to ignore the negative way in which she expressed them. There's always going to be someone who will be jealous of your accomplishments and your personality and your perseverance. And that's okay, because people are going to be jealous of you because they want to be like you. And to those who feel that discrimination is justifiable, I have a quote for you from Zach Van. He is an author, and he's very inspiring. Bullying builds character the same way nuclear waste creates superheroes. It's a rare occurrence and often leads to much more damage than endowment. A point to remember, I believe that there's nothing more inspiring than self-confidence. Don't ever let anyone make you feel worthless, because you're not. Even if you feel you've hit rock bottom, there's always going to be someone who loves you for who you are as a person. I've learned that you should encourage others to embrace their differences, and you should do the same regardless of what other people think, because you're your own person. I've learned who my true friends are, and I'm grateful for my friends and my family and their support and their love every day. I'm happy with myself, and I'm confident, and I don't care what other people think about me, because if they have a problem with me and who I am as a person, that's their problem. I'd like to conclude by reciting a poem by children's author Shel Silverstein. He was a contributor to The Bully, the Bullied, the Bystander, the Brave. I hope his poem, No Difference, inspires you the same way it inspired me. Small as a peanut, big as a giant. We're all the same size when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we all are worth the same when we turn off the light. Red, black, orange, yellow, or white, we all look the same when we turn off the light. So maybe the way to make everything right is for God to reach out and turn off the light. Thank you so much. God bless you all.